countries, they cut the sausage and open it up and eat it that way, whereas some
God, you
just
guys
kind
are
of take
gay.
it.
I'm not gay. You're gay.
And we're live.
Thanks, Matt.
And that's how
Wow.
the show fucking starts.
Dick.
That's how I do it. I always, once we get into a variety of things, that's how I get things going. So welcome everybody to Rated M for Mature, a new podcast that we haven't done in a bit, but we're back. This one we're speaking on Game of the Year. As you can see, we have some extra players in the mix. Right now, we're with my two co-hosts, Andy Man
What up?
and the Phil Stop.
Sup, ladies?
Again with this, we talked about this, Phil.
I thought
You
we
can't
went over
just
this,
specify
Phil.
the ladies.
Well, you know, I'm single. I figure, throw that out there.
As you can see, we have
So
multiple guests going. Andy, go ahead and I'll let you introduce some of our guests that we got going on.
All right. So our first guest host, he's making his inaugural appearance for the second time on our show. He is the brainchild behind our beautiful logo. Thank you very much for
Whoop, whoop.
that contribution, wherever the hell it is that you happen to be pointing. I'm not sure. But this
Yeah, I'm not
is
sure where
this is a longtime friend of pretty much everybody on the show. This is Jeff.
Hey, nice to meet you guys.
Welcome,
Short, sweet,
Jeff.
to the point.
Yep, exactly.
Bill,
We
if
also
you'd be
have,
so kind. Thank you.
Two of the sexiest people I know.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
They've been part of my life for quite some time. Two very slick individuals. One is a co-host of the Horse Armor podcast. Tom, say hello.
Oh, hey. Hello. It's actually Average Nerds now. It's not Horse Armor anymore.
Damn.
Yeah, Average Nerds.
Oh, Phil, you fumbled.
Hurts.
The plug has been foiled.
The plug has been unplugged. You have unsheathed your sword.
Our other host, our guest host today, comes from another podcast. AJ, go ahead.
How's it going, guys?
Hey, welcome to Rated M for Mature. And loving the Legend of Zelda sword there.
Thank
Goes very well with the game coming out soon.
you. Mm-hmm.
Shut up,
I'm really
fanboy.
excited.
Got the Zelda tattoo on my arm and everything.
Very nice.
You guys are the two biggest fucking Zelda fanboys I've ever seen.
Do not hate
Yeah.
on the Zelda.
Well, I'm not hating. I'm just saying that you
Just
two
pointing
are
out.
the
That's
biggest
all.
fanboys
We're just
that
pointing out.
I've met for fucking Zelda.
I'm just saying, Nintendo, if you're someone to come across this, we have no problems plugging Legend of Zelda.
You guys will be happy.
You
My
nerds,
nephew
you're
got
like,
a 3DS, and he put the Legend of Zelda armor on it.
Hell yeah.
Anyway, so this episode here, like we spoke to in our last podcast, we're going to be talking about the Game of the Year. We're going to go over, basically, we're going to present this. Never mind, I'm going back to Andy.
I'm fine with that, but do be prepared. I do have screenshots from after our last episode when you had a mustache.
My mustache. Where we're going to go over our initial nominations. We're going to then have our guests give their nominations. We'll break those down, and then we'll have a roundtable discussion about which is going to be top. And then the rest are bottoms.
Okay.
Matt
It's a
is the bottom.
6-game battle royale to the death for one ring to rule them all.
There is
Okay,
one
just-
ring, and it was
All right.
there's only one return, and it was of the Jedi.
Mm-hmm. Oh, God.
Nice.
Thank you very much. Appreciate
Too
it.
bad she died.
Funny, real fucking funny, Phil.
But
Too
hashtag
soon.
too soon.
Hashtag too soon.
Way too soon.
Too soon.
What was it, like last week?
What was
It was 2 days ago.
Oh, whatever.
And you no longer get, for that one, Phil, you no longer get any camera time. You're in timeout.
Your camera time is finished.
Hey, but how am I going to get the
Feels like-
ladies,
feels
bro?
like camera time.
That's right.
But we're gonna have to count on Jeff. Jeff, it's up to you, buddy.
Yeah. Phil, congratulations. So let's go ahead and get to with our game of the year.
Before we
And,
get started, I want to talk about the rules that we have
Yeah,
Oh,
just
please
go
do.
over
for
those
the
just
game of the
to
year.
just to get everybody caught up, just in case you missed our last escapade.
So we're looking at no re-releases. So the game has to
Okay.
be released for the first time on one of the consoles or on PC for the first time this year. One of us has to have played it. Otherwise, your opinion's moot because you got to play the game.
True fact.
but yeah, your opinion does not matter.
True story.
Yep.
This year, first release for non-anniversary editions. The grading factors are going to be replayability / multiplayer, graphics and artistry or immersion, story, and fun factor.
The fun factor.
All about that fun factor. 4 fingers of fun.
Whoa.
Whoa. Well, we'll start off with get our illustrious host's insights on his nominations for
Matt,
Game of the Year.
Matt, go ahead and lead us off. What are your 3 nominations for Game of the Year?
Okay, so right out of the gate for my 3 nominations, it was almost a no-brainer. One was actually relatively surprised I didn't think I'd actually enjoy, and that's Forza Horizon 3. It's on how play
Nice.
and not stop. My second nomination is Titanfall 2. Now, one of the best multiplayers and stories I've ever came across. Series lineage. I mean, Titanfall 1 didn't have this one made up for it tremendously. And then last but not least is Street Fighter 5. Now, I know I had a rough start, but where it's at now is
Interesting. Okay. I was not.
Andy, hit me.
I was not expecting the Forza Horizon, especially since you are not a racer.
Right? That's what I mean. This was you telling me about it, showing me
Hey,
the
bro,
visuals about it.
You saw Tokyo Drift. Even
I-
white boys can be racers.
But I'm not right.
Nobody saw that
You
movie.
drive in
Nobody saw that movie.
like I can't
not-
race. I can kill people. I can kill a whole bunch of people, but I can't race. Like Twisted Metal Black, that's great. I'm great at that game, but like any racing game, no.
That's
I
the game
want
they
to play
need
the
to re-release.
re-release Tokyo Drift right now.
Oh dear. All right. So
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I
Go ahead,
did
Mark.
watch Tokyo Drift. I watched it.
Yep.
He was off for Little Bow Wow, wasn't it?
Hell no. So
Yeah.
those
it
are
was for
those
Little
are.
Bow Wow. Just admit it. It's okay.
Was
You
by
gotta have
Bow
the
Wow
whole-
now? He doesn't go by Little.
It's Lil.
Anyway.
My apologies. Lil Bow
He doesn't.
Wow.
No, he actually doesn't go by Lil anymore because he's
No,
an adult.
he's just Bow.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So those are my nominations
so my-
itself. Yeah.
My 3 nominations, I also am nominating Horizon 3. I thought the game was absolutely fantastic for a multitude of reasons. For me, being a hardcore racer that I am and also being active in the car community, I thought it was a fantastic blend of a pure racing game combined with a game that someone as a non-racer like yourself, Matt, could jump into and be as immersive and as nuanced and detailed as you wanted to be. And you could be equally as hands-off and casual and not hardcore into it as well. Obviously, it is a racing-centric game, but the depth of the game was just so broad and so well done, and especially as good as the Forza Motorsport games have been. Horizon 3 was a fantastic blend of a very deep and immersive racing game and being a very casual and hands-off racing game as well. I thought they did an absolutely fantastic job with that. My second nomination is Battlefield 1, and the reasons I think are pretty obvious, but I'll get into them anyways. I think their story, as good as Titanfall 2's story was, I have to give a slight edge to Battlefield 1 for the simple fact that it's one of the first major first-person shooters that I've seen in quite some time that has a broad story that goes through multiple plot points, but it's not just a single character that you're following along. And it was very enjoyable to go through and play that story and to dig into the story of the 5 or 6 individual characters. And the introduction to that game is just absolutely buries you in immersion in the game. And then when you get into the multiplayer and how granular it is and how detailed it is, but not just that, how accurate everything is, the representation, the realism, is just such a well done game. It's just, I love Titanfall 2 on so many different levels, but the realism of Battlefield 1 just won me over. That's really what did it for me. And then my last nomination is Overwatch. Obviously, one of the biggest games to come out in a very long time. Within 6 months of release, it already blew past WoW's highest player count. Last I saw from, I want to say September or October, was 22 million unique players globally on consoles and on PC, which is just absolutely astounding how many people are playing this game. So I really don't think I need to say much more about that.
No, go on. Continue how much you love Overwatch.
So I have.
I'm just kidding. Phil, you're next. No.
Well, I only have 74 hours game played so far, so leave me alone.
He loves it so much, he went after that May holiday skin.
Oh, I already got it.
What I tell you?
I'm done with you.
Hey, it's
And
Mrs.
Phil?
Claus, okay?
I'm
I
done.
understand. Chubby girls need love too.
Yeah, they do. They're the boys.
Ay, Phil. I can't. I'm about to put you in timeout again.
Before we get into my 3, I wanted to tell you about one of the games I wanted to nominate, but for future generations of gamers, I decided to not nominate this game. It's Mafia 3. Mafia 3 looked really good. It was a really fun game to play. But in a society that's already so tense for racially, and we're trying to teach the kids not to hate and not to react violently towards hate, that game, it emphasizes it. It promotes it. Where the main character is African American, he's not completely, he's half. So he gets hate from both sides. So when you're reacting in the game to all the racial slurs that's getting thrown at you, you react violently and you're killing. And we all know it's a mature rated game, that it's not supposed to be played by minors, but all of you have been in that position where you're selling games. And how many times does little Timmy get a hold of a mature rated game that he's not supposed to be playing?
Well,
So
it depends how much he brought with me. He's got it.
Yeah, exactly. You know, we had a stat back in the day at our store how many blocks we could get, how many times we could deny a child from playing a mature rated game, just by informing the parent that this is not the type of game for your kid.
That was so much fun.
Yeah, it was. You know, but it was a good game. But just for the kids out there who probably have played it, I don't want to permeate the hate. You know, peace and love, homie. All you ladies out there, you know, Big Phil's got love for y'all.
Oh my god.
And that's where your PSA
Okay.
from Phil
All
Stout.
right, Phil, I got a question. So with the whole mafia thing, do you think it's as big as the problem with Modern Warfare when it first came out with the whole No Russia mission?
It's close. Like no Russian goes down in video game history as one of the most violent scenes in a video game.
Especially at that time.
Yeah, it was so bad that other countries were like, "We're not going to sell this game here." Like Australia had a ban on it for a while, right?
Australia
Yeah,
bans a lot of things in general. Australia has
also
a very
tough one.
very strict policy
Yeah.
on their
I feel
media content.
that it should have gotten the same reaction. That whole game should have gotten the same reaction from the public that No Russian did, because of the impact of how much violence is promoted in that game, especially towards other races.
Uh-huh.
And it's such an ingrained topic in American society that I can see why they made the game, and I see why they chose to make it that realistic. But you could certainly make a racially tensioned game without having to use the N-bomb in every freaking line.
Yeah,
Every line.
agreed.
Agreed. Okay, so what are your nominations, Phil?
PSA aside,
Yeah. Bill stop announcement.
I'm gonna lead off with The Division. I feel it was a very good game. I still play it today.
I will agree with that.
And to replace Mafia, I really didn't want to do this only because I wanted to give Mafia love, but Final Fantasy, it's a really new game, and it hurts that I have to say this because it's coming up as a replacement game in my nominations. It's just too new, so just because it's out there, we're gonna throw it in there as a nomination because people have been waiting for a Final Fantasy game, like a solid JRPG for a while, and I feel like this game really fits the bill, fills the void like Phil does, ladies.
No.
My God.
Good Lord, I can't.
You missed it, didn't you, AJ?
I love
You've
you,
missed
Phil.
this.
You got that's strike 2, Phil.
Yeah, you don't gotta work with them all day long.
And my last nomination, I've had a very long love affair with this young lady, Lara Croft, Tomb Raider.
I knew it.
I figured it would be. I knew it. You would have been all about that tomb and Raider and Laura.
Oh, I would raid that tomb any day.
Oh, good Lord! I set that up. That's my
You
fault.
did?
I apologize.
Yeah, that was an easy one.
I apologize.
AJ was shaking his head. No, you shouldn't have done that, bro.
Yep.
You should have done that. I
I've
was
been
gonna
shaking
spike
my
that shit
head
right in
this
your face.
entire time. I'm just
In my voice, I'm like, oh, why am I saying this? I should stop. I can't. Oh, damn! I gotta finish the
face
sentence.
palming. It's like I should say something, but no, I'm just gonna let him go.
Yeah.
Tom and
I'm just
AJ
gonna-
know me so well. They're like, they know exactly what not to say around Phil.
If you try to stop it, it builds up and it just gets worse. It just explodes near the end. It literally puts on a pimp hat, pimp cane, and starts strutting around.
I can't with it. I can't help it sometimes, but okay. I'll see you in the
Yeah,
air
but those-
nominations and
All right, so now with these 8 games, because there's a duplicate. Let's debate those. Let's start with the one that got more than one nomination, Horizon 3. What does everyone think about Horizon 3? Advantages, disadvantages? Have you even played it? Are you familiar with it? What are your thoughts?
That's a racing game, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
oh god,
That one statement right there sums up Tom's opinion.
Yep, that pretty much sums that up. Yep.
Well, being a avid racing fan that I am, I own Forza Horizon 3, and I absolutely love it. It's fantastic. The open world going around, collecting everything, the mystery cars, the races, the great music, the horns that you can get. So I was lucky enough I also had Halo, so I was able to get the Warthog.
Nice.
Yes.
So,
Awesome.
which is probably one of the funnest vehicles to drive in that game because it's absolutely ridiculous.
Unless you want to go over
It's a
106
beast.
miles an hour.
it's a
True.
beast.
That's true. But it's still fun. And the Drivatars, I love the Drivatars. I don't know,
I don't think you like mine.
Andy, have you come across my Drivatar at all?
Oh, I've
in the
beaten
game
you
yet?
repeatedly.
Okay, good. As you should.
Yeah.
But
It's
yeah,
fun 'cause
no,
I come across Andy's and it's always a neck and neck. It'd always be a 50-50, which is
Right.
weird because Andy's way better driver than I am.
Yeah, I think we need to do a real life race to do just to compare.
right.
As long as you don't
Exactly.
use that little 3-wheeler thingy.
Oh yeah, I forgot about
I'm sorry, I don't mean to catch up, but every time we play, he always has this one car. You guys remember Family Matters, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember Family Matters? You remember Steve Urkel's car that he drove around in?
They had the door that opened from the front.
The BMW Isetta.
Yeah.
Yep.
That.
Yeah.
Andy took it upon himself to take that car and soup it up and make it as fast and strong as possible. So strong that even he himself can't control it. Even on a straight drift side to side, because that car can't handle its own speed.
It's got 270 horsepower and it weighs 900 pounds.
Here I am in my Subaru, just flooring in at maybe like 210, and then all of a sudden, zooming right past me is this little dot.
Oh, I absolutely blow him off the road. But the problem is anytime I need to stop or I need to turn, it takes me half a mile to slow down so that I can do that effectively, or to turn around. Oh, it's so fun.
You use
I
brakes?
just thought I'd throw that in. I'd throw that out there.
Wait. Do I use what?
You use brakes?
I do. They're not terribly effective though.
I just keep flooring it.
No, because the car, it's 3 wheels. So if you try to turn, there's not nearly enough traction to do anything effectively. So if I try to turn at speed, I just become a top and I spin.
It's relatively comical.
Right.
It's comical, but the thing is, if I need to make a left turn, that's not very effective when I wind up a mile away from the turn I need.
You're not a true driver unless you just let fate, handle your turns, okay?
Oh, did Jesus take the wheel?
You just cover your eyes. No. God, take the wheel.
Oh, no, that's the Koenigsegg. I do that with the Koenigsegg's and the GTRs.
Yeah. Technically, you're supposed to say, this should be interesting, and then you jerk the wheel as hard as you can in the direction you want to go.
After I first souped up the IZ, that's actually what I did. I'm like, I wonder what this does. And then I went straight into a tree at 170 miles an hour. I was like, well, that was interesting. Not quite what I was looking for, but now I know.
Yep. Yeah, that's another thing. The customization on the cars too, being able to tweak them as much as possible is. It's more limited than it was in just Forza, but it's still a ton that you can do to it.
Yeah,
which
a lot
is
of customization, paints, vinyl sets. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff.
The marketplace where you can actually put up your own custom work and have it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Having seen other people, drive around in your paint jobs is pretty legit.
It is.
No one's chose mine yet because it's very simplistic. But
so, AJ, how do you feel about Forza?
Well, I played a little bit of it, so I really couldn't get the whole feel of what you guys are experiencing. I played some, but the last racing game I legitimately played through, beat the whole thing, was Burnout Paradise.
No, that was quite some time ago.
Yeah,
that was a good game.
I really can't say much about Forza Horizon 3 because it's been years since I played a racing game. Because to me, it's just Burnout was the best, and nothing else can top it for me.
Okay.
Now, for driving, I think the best experience I had in a video game was when Tom and I were in Saints Row 2.
Oh dear.
And we were that I like to choose female avatars when I play a video game, right?
Oh God, I remember everything now.
It comes rushing back.
My buddy Tom does the same thing, but there's a slight difference in the women that we choose.
Okay. A little more robust.
So you guys remember Sir Mix-a-Lot, right?
Oh no.
Yeah.
And his one-hit wonder, Baby Got Back.
She does have back.
Yes.
Just imagine that tenfold, and you'll have a glimpse of the type of women that
we actually got this guy. He was he has the deep black man voice, and I'm just and there's a walk that your character can get, which is like the gangster strut. And when you have a badonkadunk like my character did, that was just jelly in motion. It was like the ballistic jelly you find in Mythbusters. That
Oh,
shit just kept moving,
when,
right?
when it's
So-
in slow motion, just see
Yeah.
just wave.
So I'm strutting,
Oh.
and this guy comes up to me and is like, "Damn, girl, that ass," just following me, just saying all this random shit. And then I go, "Oh, hey," and I turn around, and then he just logs off.
It was hilarious.
Oh, that's lame.
You know, Tom was like, "Hey guy, what's up?" And all of a sudden he went silent. He kind of stood there for like 2 minutes, and then that was it.
It was just gone.
He was done. He was out. Aw.
But, so now that you got a picture of Tom's avatar in Saints Row 2,
No,
right?
I didn't want it, but okay.
Picture that avatar, and your typical, filler girl. All right, but imagine those two on a motorcycle.
No.
Okay,
I was literally
we-
the airbag.
we did this twice. Okay, one time, Tom was driving on the motorcycle. It was a Ninja. It was a Kawasaki motorcycle Ninja, and Tom was driving. Right, and if we crashed, my character was safe because there was all this cushion in front of her.
Like literally, if we crashed, he would bounce into my avatar, and that would
done.
be it. But my avatar would fly
Yeah.
off in the distance. I mean,
And then the next time, because Tom's a better shot than I am, and I'm a better driver, we flipped them around, right? And you could not see my avatar at all. At all. It was just Tom on the back of the motorcycle.
I absorbed the bullets. I'm just so you don't get shot in the back. You
But-
just have to worry about your front.
But that's our experience in a driving game. That's as far as we got, aside from flipping each other off in Burnout Paradise with the Xbox 360 camera. That was kind of fun.
I have no words for what you guys just described. And I wish I can unsee in my mind what you guys pictured and painted for me.
It's on Steam.
but-
Like we could play it right now. We could make that avatar.
Absolutely. We'll just go to town in Saints Row 2.
Oh God, you all heard it first, you guys. If you want to join in on the fun.
Okay, so
Join Saints-
so based on our rules, right? Fun factor, immersion, replay value / multiplayer.
Yeah, they got the artistry.
Out of 5, this is how we're going to break down the 8 games. Out of 5, what would you give Forza?
For every single part or as a whole?
As a whole.
As a whole, what's your rating of the entire game out of 5?
That's that racing game, right?
Yeah. Yeah, Tom. The
From
reason
beep beep tripod.
Still haven't. We're
that
still
your
on
avatar
Forza.
and my avatar couldn't fit in because it
Okay.
just-
Right.
You don't know that. They got big vehicles. They got the. They got the.
They got bucket seats.
They
Got
do
the
have
Halo
buckets.
Warthog.
I mean, they have the Warthog. I mean, the thing weighs 8,000 pounds. I'm pretty sure your big.
Oh, I
ass-
could race in that. Yeah, there's
I'm
nothing
pretty
that
sure
would go wrong.
your big ass that drivatars can fit in that.
Nothing
so
could
I'd
go wrong
say-
with that.
No,
Oh my gosh.
great.
And the Halo music has a horn. You can't go wrong.
That's true. That is also true. Matt, what is your rating on Horizon 3?
3 out of 5. Now the entire thing, I'm giving that one a 4. 4 out of 5 in my book,
I will.
and I'm relatively.
I will
Of the
also
4
give it-
categories, what influenced you the most to give it that higher rating? Was it the replay value,
It's
the immersion?
the replayability and the multiplayer as a whole, because doing it, just being able to, the fact that there's no way you can just complete the entire thing in one go. I mean, it's you're going to be playing this for quite some time. There's always going to be
Hours.
expansions for new cars and new everything else, and trying to do the hunts for the cars is one of the most funnest things I've ever done. Thank you, Andy, for getting me with that. That's now one of my addictions.
You're welcome.
Player again, you can jump into someone else's, like, on the fly. Makes things a lot easier to keep the fun going, which includes the fun factor. Being able to have your own style racing, or just cruising around Australia, just looking around, just crashing into things. Andy, the story
Yeah.
too much. I mean, like, you're promoting very much Forza Horizons, the actual racing tour. So you yourself are making the amazing, and that falls into the immersion factor. Graphically, it's probably the most nicest looking games I've ever played. The realism, the sharpness of it, it's beyond what I thought it, Forza would bring up to the table since it was a Horizon 2. So that's what brought me to that one. Now it's not 100% perfect on that end there, because again, to me, the story portions, since you're building your own story of it, it's not like something that was predestined. It was, you are like one of those kind of like choose your own story novel books, you know what I mean? So that's what probably took it away from that full 5 factor.
All right, Jeff, what's your breakdown and score of Forza Horizon?
I'm actually going to mark mine a little bit lower than than a 4. It's going to be 3.5 for me.
Okay.
And the reasoning why I say that is mainly because of I played it a lot right off the bat, but then I fell off and haven't been back. And there hasn't been a big enough draw for me to go back. So on the replay ability, I kind of knock it down a little bit more, because a game needs to keep my interest, and I'm very ADD gamer, so it's hard. Yeah, it's hard for me to keep with it for very long, and so that one didn't keep me like some other games did this year. So that's why that gets a little. But visually, it's probably one of the most stunning games. I'm right there with Matt, going with the story. You're a promoter for this music event, not even a race event. It's a music event, actually. And the racing is just around the music event. So the story's a little loose there. And so that's why I knocked it down just a little bit, rather than giving it a 4.
Andy?
Fair enough.
For similar reasons to Jeff, I'm actually going to rate it higher than 4. I'm going to give it a 4.5. And granted, I have not been back since it came out. However, a big reason for that isn't because I don't want to play the game. It's because I found a game that I enjoy playing more. And I've had a bunch of media and gameplay that I've needed to record. So it's not that I don't want to. I've just had other shit that I've needed to play. But the graphics in this game, and having played Forza 2, 3, 4, and 5, and I was going to get 6, but I decided to hold off and instead went with Horizon 3 because I didn't do Horizon 1 or 2. But the quality of graphics in this game, it's not just in the subtle shading. It's not just in the graphics that are close. It's the ability to see great distances with still a very high level of detail, which in most racing games that I've played is not always been the case. They kind of get lazy when you go out within the distance. But in Horizon 3, they really haven't done that. You can go and drive right on the beach, right into the water, and you look out into the distance, out into the horizon where the sun is setting, and the ocean is still just as clear as far as you can see as it is where you're physically driving. You go through and you make contact with objects as you're driving around, fences and street signs and all of that shit. It doesn't lose its graphic quality. It doesn't, degrade when you make contact. There's no weird physics about it. The story is a pick your own adventure. You have 3 sites that you wind up needing to build up. And what's great about those 3 sites is you can choose whichever one you want to go to first, second, third. It's in any order. And you go through, you do the events around that particular event to build up street credit to get more fans, which winds up opening more opportunities within that event. So that's basically how the game winds up going. It's relatively simple, but again, it's simple enough that someone who's hardcore into racing can thoroughly enjoy, can really dig into those events, really push for really high scores or making sure they finish first. Or if you just want to run around and do some fun shit, you can do that, and it's not a big deal. You can do it very casually, and you can get just amount of fun out of it. The replayability on the game is fantastic because you do have the drivatars that are constantly driving around. There's a lot of different things that you can do, and I don't even think Matt or Jeff, you have gotten to this yet, but there is a mode in the game where you have a challenge to drive around and photograph every single car in the game.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I've
been working on that.
Okay.
I've worked on that.
It's really challenging, especially once you get up over a couple hundred cars, Like, okay, did I take a photo of that? I have no idea if I took a photo of that. So it gets really challenging, and you really got to know your cars. And that's, again, something where you can be very casual, or you can be very detailed with it. But the fact that you have the driver...
See, now I got to get some work done.
Yeah, you've got some work to do, but it's okay because we got time. But with the replayability, because you have driver cars that are continually driving around, you can immediately jump into a race at any time, or you can jump online and you can do a multiplayer, like an 8-person, I think the highest is 12, a 12-person race with a bunch of other random people on the internet, or you can go to an event and you can race against a friend or another person's time for that event, or join up with a friend and go and run around and do shit with them. It's so broad with the multiplayer. There's so many different ways that you can do it. It's really, really well done, and it's really well crafted. So that's why I got to give it a 4.5.
Nice. AJ?
Nice.
For me, it's just like I said, I really can't give a good solid score, so take mine with a grain of salt. But I would give it like a
Salt.
Yeah, like a 3.5. So. The only thing is that caught my attention was how Jeff and Andy, you guys said it's just that it's a game to where you could easily lose focus and just completely forget about it.
Yep.
And like when I played it for an hour. I was really into it, and then something else come to distract my attention. I completely forgot about it.
Yep.
That's what really killed it for me. Like if I was, if it had like a better story or a better car, stuff like that, I would have kept at it.
Okay.
But for me, it's just losing the whole focus and interest. It just killed it for me. That's
I can definitely agree with that. The
Okay.
trade-off with racing games in general is it's kind of a thin genre to begin with.
Yeah.
Because it's racing. It's not rocket science. It's not that difficult. You drive around, you make some left turns, you make some right turns, you run into some shit, and the race is over. It's kind of the same thing over and over again. But
Making a left turn.
exactly. It's kind of limited in what the scope is. So, but that's one of the things that I myself would really liked about the game is that you can jump into it and you're 100% immersed in the game while you're playing it. As soon as you step away, obviously because the genre is kind of thin and kind of narrow in its scope, it's very easy to forget about. But for me, because when you're in it, you can get so focused. There's so much to do. There's so much to run around that you can jump into. It's so easy to just completely lose, 1, 2, 3, 4 hours in the middle of the game. Like, oh shit, I got to go to bed. It's 2 a.m.
Yeah.
So is that a
we've had
3
those
or a
several
3.5?
I'll give it a 3.
All right, a 3. Okay. Tom?
3 days.
That's the racing game, right?
Yes.
Is that the one where you
that's
have
the
to
racing.
accelerate and use the brakes sometimes? Because I don't really play those type of games. The last racing game I played was The Crew. So you can all throw bricks and stuff at me if you want.
I like The Crew. It was fun.
Oh, cool! All
think
right,
I've
so we
played The
can
Crew.
stand together as we're pummeled to death, AJ.
Yeah.
Thanks. Okay, cool.
Oh, I don't know you. I can run fast.
Stone
I'm
them.
And even that game, that game was a really watered down racing game. That was pretty simplistic. So I tend to stay away from most of the racing games. So I can't really put any much input. But considering you all are so excited about it, I'll just say, yeah, I'll give it a 4.
Wow, that's an easy sell.
So we'll go with the drone vote of 4. Okay, I got it. I'm gonna be the dick here, and I'm gonna give it a 2.
All right.
Why?
Why?
I
Why?
It looks great, It
have to
looks
back up
great.
Phil and switch my decision down to a 2 because
Just because you guys
You don't
can't
want to hear that from the crew.
How about we split the difference and call it a 3? Does that work for you?
no 2.
Split the difference.
I
But let
follow
me
the Phil.
I'll tell you why. It's mass appeal, right? The game looks great, and I'm pretty sure the physics, the tuning, and all of it is going to be really, really good. It's going to be on par. It's going to be a really great racing game,
Okay.
But just like any girl, you can't base it off her looks. There's got to be substance there. There's got to be something. But like Jeff and AJ had mentioned, it has to hold your attention.
Yeah.
And if you're not really into that type of game, then it's not going to hold it. Like I could play a Tomb Raider game for like 5, 6, 7 hours. You'd be like, oh shit, I got to go, right? But that's only because I dig that game.
Right.
And for the mass appeal, I would have to give it a 2. Sorry guys, you can kick my ass later.
Nah, it's fair enough.
I'll
Again,
just rearrange everything on your desk at work.
But I have my desk buddies, and they're all in a nice, neat row.
No, that's all gone.
yeah.
So we're looking
Phil?
at 4, 4.5.
3.5.
I'm totaling it up. So I got the spreadsheet open. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through. I'm going to document the game, what the score is, and come up with an average score. And then once we're done with all of the games after each round, I'll come out and announce what the average score for each one is. Sound good to you guys?
Yeah, it's fine.
Gangsta.
Go.
Great, sounds good.
All right, next victim.
All right. So I guess I'll go with that one here. What was the next one in line? Well, after this is pretty much we all had our own separates.
Yep.
So I guess I'll go with my secondary choice, which was Titanfall 2. The multiplayer aspect is amazing. Graphically, it's a lot cleaner than Titanfall 1. I don't know how many of you played Titanfall 1. I know Andy has for a good solid hour, then stopped.
I had it for 9 days. I checked.
It's visually stunning, and it's a story-wise, they really put their all into that story. The immersion of starting off as this cadet who wasn't even pilot trained to be the main hero piloting the most important mech in the game. Well, it's not necessarily so. You learn that right after like the first 10 minutes of the game.
I haven't played the story.
Oh, for crying out loud, Phil!
Hey, I just shoot people, okay? I just.
It
shoot
also
people.
is in the trailer.
That's fair. That's fair.
Has an amazing story that the first Titanfall did not have, which was a big complaint, not just by myself but the entire Titanfall community, that there was no true multiplayer. I mean, not multiplayer, but story. Because story mode in that was just basically multiplayer. The portions of it was not only just being able to play as a shooter that where you can jump inside a giant mechanized walking tank and beating the crap and shooting the shit out of things, but being able to customize, having your specific classes of not just like the mechs but the actual gunners itself, being from snipers to assassin to just an all-around jack of all trades. This also fell in line with being able to have multiple Titans to work with, as opposed to the original one, which only had 3, but they basically function the same. In this one, they actually now gave you 5 separate classes. Oh, 6 now? 6. I'm not even paying attention. Well, I only play. The others don't matter. Only personal opinion. Don't get me wrong. But they all have their own individual way of playing, their individual style. To me, I could play that every day. I could if I wasn't so caught up in my third choice. So we'll get into the third choices later. But that's pretty much where I fall when it comes to my second choice of Titanfall. It's to me, it's all around perfect in all aspects. That's just, again, my own personal opinion, and I hope that most of y'all give that Titanfall a chance. I know, Jeff, you have it. Mm-hmm. We've all had our a live stream where we played it and we were just wrecking shop or getting wrecked depending on which mode we were in and which map. But
yeah, I think I have the highest gameplay of.
Wait, hold on, Phil. What was that?
That was me taking a bite out of crime.
Oh, for fuck's sakes!
And you're in timeout.
But with your elation with the game, would you say that's a 5?
Give that a 5.
Oh, our
That'd
first
be my
5,
first,
ladies and gentlemen.
That'd be the first 5. Now, that's my own personal
opinion.
opinion.
Here we go.
I'm seeing Jeff's face. I'm seeing the lemon face. So
let's go in reverse order. We'll swing it back towards Tom.
Yeah, we'll finish up with me.
Okay. So Titanfall, right? Titanfall
Yep.
2.
Yeah, so where you drive next.
You're right. Okay, see, here's the thing, though. See, I don't have to worry about brakes on that one because you just need to keep moving all the time on that one, and you just barrel through whatever's in front of you. So it's
or
you
you
don't have to
blow
worry
up.
about it.
So yeah.
Yeah. And the more you stomp on people, the more points you get, right? So
This is true fact.
Right, exactly.
yeah. So that's a perfect game for me. So, but no, I really enjoyed that game. I played the first one, Titanfall 1. I played it like after everyone had played it. They had been out for like I don't know, several months. It's like late phase, and they had that weird story mode-esque kind of multiplayer mission mode, but it wasn't really story mode at all. But kind of had a story. I don't know, but I played that and it was fun, and I maxed out my guy, and then did him regen, and then got him maxed out again, and it was okay. And then Titanfall 2 came along. And the story mode, I won't lie, I'm not going to spoil anything like that last guy, but
Like, I don't know what the last guy. Yeah, that last guy was an asshole.
But hey, he said it, not me. The ending for that story mode, I mean, it pulled some heartstrings, dude. Like it made my eyes water a little bit. I was so sad, but it was a good ending still. But it's just damn, my bro, So, and I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed multiplayer. The new little classes or whatever you have, like one like phase shifts and kind of teleports around like Nightcrawler in that sense, or the guys who like the mechs that have like the nano boosting and stuff like that. That's fun. I like that stuff. That was really cool. And the weapons are really nice too. They have a larger variety of weapons, and they're really fun to use. The mechs are just fucking amazing. The Scorch, I'm sorry, that's my favorite mech. He's a big, bulky, fat ass, and he shoots fireballs.
Hulk smash.
I'm sorry.
That's one of my main ones. That's one of my main ones.
And then when he's pissy, he throws a tantrum, slams the ground, and destroys everything in front of him in a giant wave. Okay, I can't help. There's fire everywhere. People are burning. It's delicious. Okay,
Yes.
So
I do believe that is the show's first delicious ever.
yeah.
Yeah, actually it is.
So
I'll
give that game a 4.5. I mean, there are some problems with it.
Nice.
But so I'm not going to give it like a straight 5. There's definitely some room for some tweaking. But just the fact that all their stuff is free. There's no pay to win. All their DLC is free.
That's a good point.
I have to give it a 4.5 because that's just great. I just love that, and more games need to follow that kind of model there. Because I mean it's getting a lot of traction. A lot of people love it. Barely any complaints whatsoever. Just some small little minor glitches. That's it.
I'm a good model.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone wants to be Phil. But
Nobody said
I
nobody
don't.
ever.
I don't.
I want to be.
Jeff, what do you got?
What, me?
Yeah.
Oh,
What?
oh my god.
Bright lights.
Where am I? Who are you? What are you doing in my house?
I haven't played all the way through the story, but what I've played of the story, I love. I think it's great. I'm at the point where everybody knows. I'm at a good point where the Titan throws you, which is nice, and that's about all I'm going to spoil. And
Throws you like a baseball.
yep. And,
Get in my hand.
I'm thoroughly enjoying.
calculating wing trajectory.
Multiplayer is great. Yeah, the multiplayer is great on it. The mechs are great. I'm just going to reiterate everything that was just said. Really, there are problems with it. Matchmaking can be a little bit of a
Pain. Yeah.
yes, a pain. That's a nice way to put it.
Don't hold back. We're rated M for mature.
Yeah.
Fucking
okay.
pain in my ass, match.
Sometimes,
Yeah.
sometimes you get fucked, and you're on a team. You're the newbie on the team.
Sometimes you just take it in the butt.
Yeah, exactly. And your whole team gets destroyed, and you're going, well, fuck this. But you know, so that brings it down to me. I'm gonna give it a solid 4 for
Okay.
that game.
Nice.
A
Okay.
solid
Okay.
4.
This is good.
Okay.
This is good. AJ, tell us how you feel about Titanfall 2.
Yeah,
my
how many
turn
mechs
to
do you steal? Fucking.
He's like, my turn to be a dick.
My turn to be an asshole. I played it. I didn't like it at all. I know I'm gonna get a lot of hate on it because
I'm sensing it too.
let me.
It's because he
give
couldn't
you my
jack the
reason.
mechs.
No, it's because like when I played it, like okay, I'm gonna play the first one. This is gonna be my first time at it. And when I played it, I'm like, this is not for me at all. This is way too fast. It's too chaotic. I don't know what the fuck is going on. If I respawn, I'm dead within 10 seconds, and I don't even know who killed me.
Sorry.
And yeah,
Sorry.
and it's just like, in my perspective, like they don't have that big of a fan base. They lost a lot of people with the first one, with it only being a console exclusive, having no storyline, and the multiplayer was spotty as fuck on the first one. They wanted to bring a lot of people back for this one, and in my opinion, they failed at it. Like they had a half-assed story. The multiplayer, like you guys said, was okay at best, and it was just, for me, it was just not a good game. Like I tried, I went in with an open mind. I played for a couple hours, and I'm just like, no. It's like if this game is for the hardcore, dedicated like FPS players, like the Call of Duties, the one that goes to esports and to tournaments like that.
Yeah.
But they can't think like that. They have to open up the broad, general people and audience if they want to make back that money that they fucking lost so bad.
So if I can jump in for a quick second, AJ, you think that they could do it better? Hypothetically, what could they do better? Or if you were in a position to make that decision, what would you do differently to make the game better and to open it to a larger audience?
Well, just not make it so confusing with the whole menus and loadouts stuff like that. Like I understood what was going on because I played Call of Duty before, but like the people who've never done it before, who've never played Titanfall, they're not gonna know how to do stuff.
I want to say something, but it'd be mean.
No, go fucking go here, dude. You said working
I think he'd be more appreciative if the Master Sword was a skin for the Ronin blade. Then he'd play it more.
I'd play it more. I'd play that.
Yep.
I'd play that
There wasn't
class
enough.
more.
There wasn't enough in the game for him.
So
it's just no.
So basically, what you're saying, AJ,
story-
is just kind of simplify the user interface and the user menu when you're customizing your layout, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Okay.
So would you put it in more akin with like what's that game? Evolve? Like that's more pro oriented rather than
Well, Evolve has a more co-op specific type of game. Like you did not have any fun at all if you played by yourself. You had to play with other people.
yeah.
And then that game bombed so badly because they're ridiculous DLC you got paid for.
I paid for some of it.
So
I'm
that's
so
why they
sad.
So you would put that in. You would put it in the same line as like Evolve, then, right?
Kind of. Yeah, kind of like Evolve.
Okay.
It was a good game, but
I see where you're coming from now.
Titanfall
Okay.
2, it was just the story. I wanted to play it so badly. I wanted to enjoy it, but it just didn't capture
Right.
it didn't capture my attention.
Okay, give us the cold hard facts. What score would you give it?
What's your number?
I give it a 2.
Oh, we give it
That's
just
harsh.
Someone
That's because I give it that because it would have been 1. It would have been a 1, but at least they tried to do something, and that's why I went up.
Mm.
I felt
At least they weren't Call of Duty.
You know, that was
Yeah.
this EA. You tried.
You tried.
Good try.
I give you an extra star for trying.
Yeah, you get a points
Where's the
for effort.
participation part? Mhm.
Yeah, there it is.
No.
Participation points.
With what AJ said, I'm actually kind of hurt, because I was really impressed with Titanfall. I was so
played
impressed.
it with you. I played it at your computer, and you saw how it was.
Yeah. I played Titanfall, and it inspired me so much to give it a 2.5.
Nah.
I mean, it was really fun when I played and when we did our live stream. I had a lot of fun, only because I didn't have I didn't have to play a certain anything. You know, I could go out there, try the different stuff, and I had fun. I didn't have to be, you know,
You didn't have to be pro. You just
I didn't have
do
to
your thing.
be that guy who climb on walls and harpoon shit and fucking kill people from across the room with a little spike that does a sonar shit. You know, I did that, by the way. That was really cool. But
You can record it. There's no record. There's no proof.
It was, well, when we streamed, it wasn't from my point of view, so no one saw it. Just me.
No
the
one
guy
saw
I
it.
killed.
That was my
I fucking killed you with the sonar spike, guy. Whoever I killed, you know what? He'll
You're
stop.
welcome.
Yeah. Anyway.
Andy.
So you're 2.5 though, really?
Yeah, 2.5. Only because it doesn't have the mass appeal that like AJ was saying, and the user interface kind of sucks.
I will concede the fact, and you definitely made a very good point. I mean, for me, because I've spent a lot of hours in Call of Duty, I've spent probably more hours than I really should have, and not even just the recent iterations. I played early Call of Duty. I played Modern Warfare and Advanced Warfare, the first iterations, early stages of what Call of Duty became. I spent a lot of time in that. And when they first
played that, we did several of those, me, you, and Brent, for Modern Warfare 3, and
we put way too many hours into that. So I was familiar with the user interface, and for me it became very natural. I can see how it would be a trade-off for people that are inexperienced in the genre, but for me, I felt that I had a tremendous amount of flexibility in doing exactly what I wanted to do. I could be whatever type of character that I wanted. I could be a gunner. I could be hyper aggressive and fast and agile. I could be slower and a sniper. I could do all of that as a character and as a Titan. I had the full flexibility to do both. Granted, the controls, I think, in the Titan are a little cumbersome in some instances, but overall, specifically with the multiplayer, the map design is absolutely fantastic. Yes, the game is very quick, but it's not quick to the point of I can't keep up with this. At least for me, I didn't feel that way. The map is big enough that I don't feel cramped as a Titan, but it's not so large that it takes forever to get from one side of the map to the other as a pilot, which to do that effectively on multiple maps is not an easy thing to do, and I think they did that absolutely fantastically. For the story, this is arguably one of the better stories that I've played in a first-person shooter in a very, very long time. I am not a story person. I play it just to get the achievements and move on, and this is one of the very few stories that I have considered going back through to play because I just enjoyed the story. There were some elements that I didn't particularly like, especially in the later parts of the game, but overall the story in this game I thoroughly enjoyed. Especially considering how bad Titanfall 1 is, the improvement from 1 to 2, coupled with how bad Call of Duty has become, really elevates it for me, and I have to give it a 4 out of 5. It's just an absolutely fantastic game. And the story by itself, I would give a 4.9 out of 5. The story is really good.
Awesome. All right. Well, we've seen the top to tops to the lows for the Titanfall. I'm glad that was something I nominated because this was a fantastic discussion. See, it on both spectrums of those who enjoyed it, like myself, and then those who just less about it.
Fuck stealth camo, all right?
Yeah, there you go.
Fuck that camo.
Yeah, that I'll agree with. The camos, the camouflage is bullshit.
Stealth motherfucker.
Yeah, that was a little irritating. I'm not going to lie about that. That's irritating. But it's not perfect, and I realize it's a step in the right direction. I'm really curious to see if they're going to continue on with this and make a third. I want to see what that iteration is going to be.
At least they got rid of the fucking smart pistol. That's all I have to say.
Yes,
at least smart pistol is just a power up. It's just, but it's a power up, and you have to kill a whole bunch of people to get that power up.
Yep.
But I mean, you get it just right before your Titan drops.
Mm-hmm.
and it only has 3 clips. So yeah, you'll get a bunch of kills and all that stuff, but
You're done
thank
with
God that's a power up. Because that's what
thing was
annoyed me in
too
the first
strong.
game. Yeah.
Though I'm not gonna lie, I abused the shit out of it in the first one.
Oh, me too. Oh God, everyone
I
did.
think everybody did.
Yeah, everyone was either smart pistols or that
Or
stupid
a
SMG.
sniper. Yeah,
That's it.
All
yeah,
right,
it was pretty bad.
all right, Phil. What is your first game you want to tackle?
The first game that I want to talk about for my nominations is the Division. I like this game so much I bought it twice.
This is true facts.
This is true
Yeah,
fact.
I played with him on PC. So
Yeah, I'm working my way up to end game content to run with Tom on PC. But I'm gonna lead off with my score first,
Okay,
Ooh.
and that's gonna be a 3.
interesting. This is not what I was expecting at all.
No,
I'm
not at
a
all.
video game connoisseur, so there's a lot of things that I look at for me to really enjoy a game. Now, I do play this game a lot, and that's primarily because I have a good team. And the reason why I also went to PC is to join my buddy Tom, but also to experience the game from a solo player point of view.
Fair.
Which is bad.
Especially on
It's going to
PC.
be completely different because you don't have a squad of 4 who could just raffle stomp through content.
Yeah.
Now you have to really fight for your gear. And
Bravo, we'll stop.
that's going to be the biggest ding to that game is the gear. When you're solo, it's so difficult for you to get your gear because you just can't get it fast enough for you to progress in the game. And then if you're rolling with the dedicated team, you get it too fast. There was a lot of people complaining about low storage space. I filled that thing up really quick, and now they upped it to 150 items. I still fill it up. That's how fast things drop. From a game developer standpoint, that's a little too much as far as loot drop is concerned. It was too sparse before, now it's too high. So Massive is going back and forth, and they're finally going into a development cycle that's similar to an MMO, where they build content, test on a public test server, get feedback, then put it back out in live. And that is how they should have tackled this game from the very beginning, as an MMO, not as a shooter game.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Like they really needed to focus on tank mechanics, DPS mechanics, and heal mechanics. And this is why I'm so critical about this game, because I'm very passionate about it. And I have to give it a 3 because they have completely approached this game at the wrong angle. I mean, it's a great action game. It's a great shooter game. But to be honest, they really fucked it up. Massive, if you're listening, email me. I'll tell you what's completely wrong with this game and what the fuck you did to this game to make it a shit game.
Isn't it mostly Ubisoft though? Like
It is.
feels like
Ubisoft
Massive
is the distributing.
Massive made it.
But it is a massive game. So I'm going to jump in because I've been following this game since when it was first teased at E3, 3 years before release. I've sold I don't know how many people on this game before it even released. I followed this game extremely closely. I really wanted to love this game when I got it. I was one of the first people to pre-order it from my GameStop. I believe I was the second one in the store to pre-order. I pre-ordered it in June, and the game came out in February, and I pre-ordered it in June last year.
This is true. He bragged about it constantly.
Yeah, true facts. This game, it is a fantastic game, but the problem is it's fantastic for about that much. That's it.
Out of how much?
Once the shield play ran off on me and I realized the shield was obliterated by like later on enemies and stuff, I just kind of went, oh, okay, well most of these powers are useless, and this game just disappoints me on so many levels. Like the gear, as Phil said, the gear is the kind of like a really big problem. Just trying to find anything decent when you don't have a team farming, for you constantly. It's a chore. I've been maxed out since the game came out. I haven't seen any in-game content. I haven't seen any of the new stuff that's come out simply because I am so under-geared because I'm solo that I can't see any of it. And trying to get that gear, which is usually via the Dark Zone or whatever, that's almost impossible.
Don't even get me started on the Dark Zone.
The Dark Zone, okay, we'll just get this out of the
God.
way. The Dark Zone is like Ubisoft's little, or whoever the fuck's little like side pet project. They said, "Oh, this is a great idea, but it's completely experimental. Let's throw it in there anyway and see how the players like it." And
I think that's a very apt description. It's like, hey, this sounds like great in concept. Let's throw it in,
Right.
and it'll just work.
No, it doesn't just work. It's not, there's no magical fairy that comes in and goes, "Be good." It's like it doesn't work that way.
No, not at all.
And
Sequel can't even deal with it. He's got to.
yeah, I know. He's like, "Fuck, I need a drink." But go ahead.
I was just gonna say the game. I really enjoyed the content when I was in the content, but after I got through the story,
Yeah,
for me it became like Diablo 3, which Diablo 3 I enjoyed that game for a very short amount of time, but then for me I don't enjoy grinds. I just don't enjoy doing the same thing over and over and over again with just more complicated guys. I'm like, I'm sorry, this is not my MO. This is not what I'm all about. I don't mind doing the same thing over and over again, but at least let's change the scenery. Like, not just doing the same thing over and over again. I get bored. No. Jeff, did you play Division?
I did. I actually
what did you think?
I played it for the PC first, and I went out with a bunch of my friends and enjoyed it. I enjoyed it for a bit, and then I fell off really quickly once I maxed out everything and got to endgame.
Yeah,
and there was no endgame, and that was my problem with it.
Yeah, it's like there was no endgame. It's just the game ended.
Yeah, the game ended. And you're like, well, fuck, I got everything I need. There's no good weapons. They keep on teasing us about these cool weapons that they were going to introduce. Those have never been introduced, as far as I know. Still waiting for that sniper rifle that my one buddy wants and has never got it. And so, yeah. So I didn't like it very much after that.
Last boss, through that whole story mode, you kill a helicopter, done. Their story mode just went away.
Right.
Yeah.
and then it's grind the Dark Zone to get better gear, and that was it.
The Dark Zone and incursions, and that was it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I left before they introduced incursions and never came back because I was so disappointed with the end of the game.
I did 2 incursions, and after that, I'm just like, nope. Yeah. This is I am not going to grind the same thing over and over again just to get better gear. That's not worth my time. Yeah. AJ, did you play Division?
Yeah, I played a lot with Phil. Quick thing for me, good game. Ending sucked. The grinding was okay. I don't like grinding as much, but this was okay. I gave it like a 3, 2.5 at best. The only reason why I give it a 3 is because I played with Phil and all of our buddies, like our team.
Okay.
Your group definitely makes the game.
Yes.
And that's why I have to buy it a second time.
This game has the same problem like every other co-op game. Like, you have to play with other people that you know, or else you're going to have a shitty time playing this game.
Exactly.
It's not as competitive as Siege, which you also need a good team, but at the same time, you still need a good team for you to really experience what the Division has to offer.
Yeah, agreed. Jeff, I don't think I got your score. What do you give it?
I'm going to give it about a 2.5.
2.5. Okay.
Yeah.
That's 4. I got 2 more people. Who did I have not gotten scores from? Matt, I don't think you've said anything.
That would be me, yeah. But not like I could really say much in it because I've only played just as far as the beta was concerned, and after that, just
no.
I didn't take much though because hearing the complaints right out of the gate from both you and Phil, or it just made me like.
Yeah, I'm not.
I see no need to put money down when I'm not going to enjoy myself for the whole thing. Granted, the beta was fun with all of us. I had fun with that, but that just longer, I would lose interest really quick.
Yeah.
And so for me, that would also be, I have to say 2.5.
2.5. All right, and I think Tom, you're the last one left.
I'm gonna give it a 2 because
Two?
I would normally give it a 2.5, but I had to knock off 0.5 simply because the bitterness that came with that game, the disappointment.
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah.
The want for that game to be so good.
Well, okay, I saw
everybody
the trailer.
wanted that game to be great.
I
and
saw
then
the trailer.
It just wasn't.
I saw the damn trailer, and I'm like, that looks amazing. Why can't that be that? And then you get the game, and then you look at the trailer and you put them side by side, and it's like showing you, oh, you can go to this map and you can do this and that. And it's like, nope, you can't do that. Nope, can't go there. You know, you're just checking shit off that you can't fucking do. It's just fuck that game. I hate it.
Honestly,
I like playing with Phil. Whatever.
The game for me was ultimately like what it was hyped to be throughout the entire development to what it actually wound up being for me was just a giant cock tease.
It was a giant cock tease. It was literally Ubisoft with their dick going, "We have your wallet.
We have your wallet," and held on to it for 3 years and then didn't even finish me off.
They had my wallet twice.
The last thing we'll say about the Division is massive. Give me a call. Really.
Oh, we'll give you the
fix
rundown.
Yeah.
We'll tell you all of the things.
Yeah, just give me a call.
I'm sure there's a lot of people going like, "Oh yeah, no, you're just gonna tell us the same shit we already know. We're still busy counting your money."
Yep, exactly.
They can't hear us over the money they're counting.
Seriously. All right, moving on to the next game. I'm going to jump in with mine, which is Battlefield 1. For
Lord.
me, I have to give this game what?
Just no.
No.
You're done.
No.
Well, fuck you all.
you guys remember in Living Color?
Yeah.
Yes.
Hated it.
There you go. With the snaps and everything.
All right,
Yeah.
I'll just say 4.5 and leave the floor to you kids so you can complain.
All right, I'll put my 2 cents in just because I'm yet to actually touch the thing. I'm sorry, in my just past experience with the Call of Duty and just how cool it is to play with everybody and then by myself, it's just absolute nightmare. I gotta give that one a 2.5.
Oh, harsh.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Battlefield.
But y'all know.
Okay.
AJ.
Yeah.
Downloaded it, or I have it downloaded. I got it free with my Xbox One S. Haven't played it. That's
Okay. He got it
pretty
for
much you
free,
guys say.
and he still hasn't played it yet.
And
Okay. And what was your score again?
The only thing I've seen actual gameplay was the Clueless Gamer from Conan O'Brien's segment. That's pretty much about it.
Okay.
And I'll give it a 3. I don't know.
3 because it's free.
Yeah.
Jeff.
So, I've as well. I have not really played this game.
See?
I have gone
See the
through.
trend, Andy? You see the trend?
I have
You
went
shut your
through-
whore mouth, Matthew.
I mean, I'm just gonna say this. I watched someone play through the tutorial, and it is the best tutorial on how to use the weapons that I've ever seen, and it was really well done.
Okay.
That being said,
That should be one of the reviews on the box. Best tutorial ever.
right? Exactly. I mean, but I have not
I
played
did 9 out of
the
5.
game. I mean, just watching how they did it was, and the way they did it, and it was a good way to show all those different tutorials, the weapons and everything. But that's all I've seen and played of it, and I've had a bunch of conversations with people about this game
we'll
and
be
about
talking
how
about
either it's like really nice and realistic, or how it's not realistic and it's horrible and it doesn't paint a picture of World War One. So it's just like I've gotten both sides. So I'm gonna have to give it about. I'm gonna go about 2.53 on it because I mean I just haven't played it. I can't give it a just due. You know.
All right. Well, technically, I would have gave it a 2, but if it wasn't for that one video I think Andy sent me of the blimp that was on fire that spun in a circle over and over and over and over and then just disappeared.
That shit's so awesome, though. Come on.
That's why I gave it a 2.5.
How can you be mad at a game where a blimp spins around in a circle like 40 times and then just disappears?
When you're on top of the blimp, though, when you're actually physically running on the exploding blimp, and you're just vomiting blood and whatever because you're spinning around, like it reminded me of that really bad Rocketeer movie. It was awesome. I loved it. Yeah, that was great.
All right, so what do you give Battlefield 1, Tom?
Isn't it okay? So here's my argument. It's World War One. What the fuck did we do in World War One? Nothing. It was boring. What the fuck? World War Two, you had the BAR, 30 pounds of gun. It was sexy. It made a little bing noise when you shot it and shit. Okay, and then you had fucking Nazis and shit. But World War One, no, you had Germans and Swedes and whatever those Arab people were. No, fuck that game. It was boring. I hated it.
Tell us how you really feel.
I gave it 2.0. It was just whatever. Fucking boring war.
I was actually really impressed with Battlefield 1. I was impressed enough to give it half a point instead of my regular review. It's just too real. Like the bullet drop off was harsh.
Oh, if you were playing a sniper, you were hurting a little bit.
One of the best ways to survive in a first-person shooter is to play sniper. And for a guy like me who doesn't normally play first-person shooters, that's what I went for. But the bullet drop is way too real. I mean, you have to be fucking skilled, like a skilled motherfucking marksman to use those fucking guns. I mean, I used Lawrence of Arabia's gun. Lawrence motherfucking Arabia's gun. Okay, it was fucking gold. You all know how Phil loves gold, and I went for that shit right away. And you just couldn't do it. But I was so impressed with the graphics thing. I give it like a 2.5.
Yeah.
2.5.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So just because y'all hated on the game and I feel like bragging, the sniper rifle, you can actually cycle the scope for how far out.
You can range it.
Yeah, you can range it
in all the Battlefield games.
So the range maxes out at 300 yards. I have multiple headshot kills at 350 plus yards or meters.
Man, torque bow. That's all I got to say.
Torque bow. Okay, Nerf bow and arrow on Monday.
Torque bow and
strike turret. I'll just say
what's
that.
The sniper rifle in Gears of War? I forgot what it's fucking called.
It was a longbow.
Yeah, longbow.
Yeah, the longbow, right? Sniper rifle.
Yeah. Whatever it was in Gears of War. That's sniper rifle.
Oh yeah.
Let's move right along to what's your next one, Matt?
My last one. Oh, this will be a short and sweet because it's Street Fighter V. Like I said at the very beginning.
Right there.
This is a niche one here. Terribly missing a whole lot of content. The only good positives I can think about when it came to that one, playability, at least for me personally, just because I'm a fighter. Hell. See now I'm
anything good to say about it.
That's why I'm stumbling on my own shit here, and this is my own nomination. Basically, it's like being able to play. Yeah, not a good sign at all on this game.
You're not
visually stunning. It's like visually stunning. I'll say it that way. We'll start off with my score of the game itself. It's not perfect by any means. As a matter of fact, it's for me personally, just the way it started, where it's barely getting to now. It's a 3. As a big Street Fighter fan, Street Fighter 4 had a better release than this here, but I did like the fact that the DLC you don't have to actually put money down on, you can actually earn, as opposed to like most other DLC content games where you have to pay out extra. I think here the controls are smooth to play. Visually, it's a huge upgrade using the Unreal 4 engine on that thing. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
But outside of those things, story mode was half-assed, which kind of sucked. But again, it's a fighter. Who needs a story mode? No arcade mode, which sucks. There's survival, which sucks. Multiplayer is only good when you have good connection. but that goes without saying on any multiplayer game. 3.
Tom,
Three.
I know you're
No.
you're an avid fighter, Tom. Let's see what you got to say about Street Fighter 5.
We at Capcom would like to thank you for purchasing Street Fighter 5. Please note that the DRM of Street Fighter 5 is in no way us saying, go fuck yourself, thank you for your money. We actually care about your feelings. Granted, not much, but here's a bunch of shit you can buy with credits that you won't be able to play because you're not connected to the internet. Thank you and have a nice day. Okuma rules.
See, this is
But
why
it's OP right now. Okay, Okuma is running rampant on the online scene. Phil, I'm not sure if you played in much of the online scene, but
I
Akuma
played
is-
fucking Akuma. Holy shit!
he's running. He's a plague right now.
He's
Tom,
very
what's your
powerful.
score?
Yeah, it's pretty, so like 2.5.
Yeah.
It's
AJ?
Street Fighter, but it's
All right, AJ.
1. So
Oh,
storyline.
That's fair.
Story was 3 pages of a comic book picture. Online sucked. Nobody could earn it because the game lagged and nobody could play it for the DLC. I only bought Street Fighter 5 was for the statue, and I bought that bundle, the collector's edition statue, for $20. I traded in that shit so fucking fast.
$20. I fucking hate you, man.
Yeah, I
I
got
know,
it
right?
for the statue and the game.
Whatever.
And you
Whatever.
traded in that
That
game.
statue was nice.
And I traded in that game. Got $10 for that shit.
Jeff, what you got, man?
Oh, and the statue. The statue's tilted as fuck. And that's stuff.
All right, I'm gonna point. This thing's getting a 0.5 from me because first off, I am not a fighter. Most people on this panel know I don't like fighting games at all.
No, not at all.
True facts. True facts.
True facts. Secondly, I hate the art style, and people can kill me for it, but being an artist and looking at the comic book art style for that game, I hate it. I just don't like it.
I prefer Udon's comic style as opposed to whoever.
I don't think they
Who
could
done
afford
that one
to
there?
pay Udon to animate that game.
Yeah, I don't know, but
no,
yeah,
they just don't give
Nah.
a shit.
And then you go online and you try to play it, and you get your ass kicked every single time.
Look at this. This is flat. You see how it's at an angle?
Oh yeah.
Relate.
Capcom, I think you guys should take notes right now.
That's how it is.
No, it's the
Forward.
It's the
It's
Leaning
leaning.
Tower. What? It's fine.
He's doing his best Michael Jackson impersonation right there. Smooth criminal, man.
Anyway, Jeff, please
We
continue.
got a
But yeah.
0.5 from Jeff.
But yeah,
Alright,
I mean,
Phil.
that's it.
That's it.
Andy, go ahead. I'll save mine at the end.
Okay, this is not going to be pretty. So I am not a avid fighter anymore, but I played Mortal Kombat and I played a little bit of Street Fighter and Killer Instinct many years ago when about 100 pounds ago, really. When I was much smaller and also much smaller. But based on all of the complaining that I have heard so far, I honestly cannot give this a score that is a positive number. I give it a 0.
Wow.
Fair
Zero.
enough. That's actually
Fair
fair.
enough.
Again,
You guys all know me. AJ and Tom know that I've been a very big fan of Street Fighter for quite some time, and I've been a fighter for a long time. So long that I had to let a generation skip in between before I fought again. That's how old I am, ladies. So if you're over 30, let me know. I'm gonna have to be very critical with this game, though, as a game connoisseur, and we're gonna look
Here
at
we
the
go.
launch
There you go.
experience, and we're gonna give it a 2. Because when you got Street Fighter 2 on the Super Nintendo, it was a complete game. All the characters were there.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing you had to unlock. You just bought the game, you got everything, and you practiced. Like if you're having seasonal esports events, you can't have characters come out during these qualification rounds for the tournament and deem that character, oh, that's not tournament worthy because no one's had a chance to really use that character.
Right.
Based on esports competition and customer experience from an initial launch, I'm gonna have to give it a 2. But I love the game though. I'll fight you any day. Even after you kicked my ass for an hour and a half.
Sorry, Phil.
Okay. So the normally I know we said we were going to wait until the end, but I just want to go over these scores for this game because this is just hysterical. So the high score for Street Fighter V was 3, which was given by the person who nominated it.
Yeah.
The total score at the end of the day is 1.5 out of 5.
That sounds about right.
Yep, that sounds about right.
Look at it. And he's got a broken foot.
Capcom, take notes.
Yeah, Capcom. No, don't. Everything that you did for this, don't do any of that in the next one. Just do it all differently.
Can we go back to Alpha 3?
Yeah, I mean, and that's what a lot of people have been saying in the community too. Let's just go play 4. Because 4 was complete, 4 was solid.
A lot of people are saying the same thing with the last couple of Call of Duties, which is why the franchise, I feel, has just come a complete clusterfuck. But let's not get into that. That's getting sidetracked. Phil, let's move on to one of your 2 remaining games. Which would you like to lead off?
We'll go with Final Fantasy.
All right.
And I'm gonna give it a 2 because I haven't
just leave
played
now because I don't care about that.
You give it a 2 and you haven't played it yet?
I watched the intro movie. It was just too
That's
new.
as far as I got.
It's a replacement game. I didn't want to include it because it came out too soon to be Game of the Year. It's only been out for like a month. So, based on that alone, it shouldn't even be in this pool of games representing this year. So I'm just gonna give it a 2.
Fair enough. All right. I think I'll just go ahead and put my 2 cents in this one right here, and also give that one a 2. For 2 things. One, obviously, clearly I have not played it because I don't, have a PS4. But from what I've seen in most other people, from what I've read, basically it's a lot of grind. Which Final Fantasy, that's its thing. That's you got to grind to do better. But I mean, in this one here, it's a lot, and I guess they made it too real, but still being a fantasy thing. You drive around, you hang out in hotel rooms, you sleep, you talk to people. It's this. I guess for me, I'm a nostalgia person. If most of the games that we do on our channel it's all old school classics. So for me, this one here was just too real outside of the normal spectrum that is Final Fantasy in my eyes. So 2.
Jeff?
You know what? I'm going to have to get this one a little higher. I'm going to give it a 3 on this one. And mainly because the graphics are absolutely amazing. Like, just on the visuals alone, I have to give it a higher score than it really should get from me not actually playing it. But the graphics on it are spectacular. They're great. The character designs, they're all emo kids, which drives me up the wall and I dislike. But they're cool designs. The characters look cool. But they're emo. The music is fantastic in the game. The fact that when you're driving around and the Chocobo song comes on from the original Final Fantasy on the radio in the game is amazing. So they're making fun of themselves in the game as well, which I have to give mad props to the makers for doing that kind of stuff. So that's why I give the game a 3, because they actually gave a shit and made fun of themselves, and just
self-aware.
They knew their audience.
All right.
Tom?
For what game? Sorry.
Final Fantasy.
Final Fantasy? Okay, that's what I thought. I wasn't too sure. I kind of came in the middle there. Sorry. So the new one we're talking about with the crystals and the crap and the teleporting
15.
and shit. Yeah, I'm gonna give that a 2. simply because one, it's okay. So I was very enthralled with the idea of Goonies / Road Trip / Final Fantasy. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I
Okay,
thought that was
that's
an
a-
amazing idea.
That's a good description.
Yeah, I thought it was an amazing idea. You know, we're gonna go find Blackbeard's treasure and then, you know, throw a cup of noodles at each other in the car while driving down the road. You know, going to Blockbuster to see some titties or something. And
Wait, but why? Never mind.
don't question me. This is San Jose. It's a
I'm
weird town. Anyway,
trying not to.
But instead I got a really weird I kind of got Road Trip. And I kind of got Goonies, but I got a bunch of flashy half-done shit that had nothing to do with any of the trailers that they showed us. Like the using the gun was dumb. Like that's a pointless. I don't even use that weapon. That weapon tree just gay, just so gay. I use the little one-handed sword, and then I sometimes use the spear, and then that's it. That's all you use. So you use your little finger and your big finger, and then that's all you do the entire game. And you teleport around like a douchebag and stab people in the back and hope to God you don't get hit, because I can't tell the telegraphs on monsters or anything. It's just a big jumbled rushed mess of crap, of just sparkly square soft emo crap. And yeah,
Right. Well,
I'm gonna give that 2.
yeah. Okay.
Okay.
I am
Pretty
going to
much.
have to follow Jeff. I was going to give it a 2, but he does make a very good point that the game graphically is very visually stunning. Jeff, being the designer, has an eye for this that I don't think any the rest of us would have. But with my background working in televisions and video, I have a similar eye, not quite to the level that he does, but I have a very fine appreciation for something that is very, very well polished. Is probably the best way that I can put it graphically. So I will have to give it a 3.
Cool.
The food sold it. The pictures of the food sold it for me. That's what gives it a 3.
I'll go with that.
How about you, AJ?
Just past me. I don't know.
Here we go.
Yeah. Well, your turn, Phil. We're set.
Well, I introduced the game. I gave it a 2.
Yeah.
No,
What
I'm
did
missing
it,
one. Who did I miss?
You missed me, but I haven't played the game. Have no interest in it at all whatsoever.
So that would be a 0 on his behalf.
Yeah, that would be a 0 on that one.
0. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not to sound mean, but yeah, just no.
No,
It is what it is.
it's fair. I understand.
Can't give opinion on somebody just like me.
On the list, we only have a couple more games, right?
2 more. Whatever your last game is, and then Overwatch. That's what we got left. So
That was
Phil,
the Tomb Raider, I believe.
So
Tomb
that would be
Raider? Yeah.
Tomb Raider.
The Boob Raider.
Tomb Raider.
Okay, so has anyone here played Tomb Raider other than Phil?
No, let me rephrase that. I haven't played the second one of the newer.
Let's just skip this one. I don't think it's gonna go well.
Yeah.
Probably not.
Phil, just go ahead and give us
Go
your
on.
Go ahead and give your score.
5.
I'm actually only giving it a 3, and 3 is generous. I was leaning towards 2.5, only because it didn't hold attention that well. Like what was offered when the game came out, I played that and I played the shit out of it. But waiting for the rest of the DLC, you just no.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a
Just
3.
no.
It's a 3.
Someone has a message on their private terminal.
That wasn't. No.
All right.
Yeah, I think pretty much.
Jeff, what say you?
You know what? I played the first of the newer games, and if it played anything like that one, I'm gonna have to go with Phil on this and give it a 3.
Okay. AJ?
All right.
Played the first one only. I'm hyped for the second one, so I'll give it a 3.
All right.
Well, fair assessment, say 3 all around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For Tomb Raider?
The Doom.
Yeah, Tomb Raider.
I guess. Yeah.
So I haven't played.
I
any
have
of
the game, but I haven't played it yet.
I haven't
Yeah.
played any of the Tomb Raiders, so donut for me.
Okay.
Donuts.
And last but
Overwatch?
not least, we come to Overwatch.
I will start off this one here. I'm sorry, Andy. I'm going to take the
Go
lead
ahead.
on this one here, just
Go
because
ahead.
you got me into this, and for
Well-
the longest time, Andy's been trying to get me to play this game for the longest time.
So I am going to bring this. I am actually going to make a point because we are starting to run a little on the long side, and we still got to introduce everybody else's games. So let's do this. I'm actually going to give my score as a 5, and I'm going to say we should actually leave this to debate after this round because I'm pretty sure because that's going to wind up being my game that's going to wind up going through. So are you guys okay with just waiting and having the debate once we have all 6 games on the table? You guys good with that?
Fine by me.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, just hammer your scores. Let's move on to the next thing. So what do we got? Matt, what do you got?
For me, this game here, I got to give this one also. I'm actually going to give this one a 4.5.
All right. Phil?
Well, I'm gonna have to be a dick. It's a great game, and I do like playing it, but it's a 2.
Interesting. Okay, we'll bring that up shortly. Jeff?
I'm gonna go 4.
Tom?
4.5.
And AJ?
I'll give it a 3. Seems fun.
Cool. All right. So while I am tabulating these up, Jeff, give us your Game of the Year suggestion, nomination.
So it hasn't been said in here at all. I'm gonna say Doom.
Good choice, actually.
Great game. Came back, was the original. It pretty much was a remake of the original, but with way better graphics, lot of good music, good gameplay. All around, I just enjoyed it. That was probably one of my favorite games this year.
Okay, and what was your rating? I missed that.
I'd probably give that one a 4.5.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I was actually kind of surprised that no one else had mentioned that to this point. So yeah, definitely good call. Matt, what do you think about Doom?
Doom, it looks great. It looks like they've they've taken what Doom was when it first came out, which is being this gung ho, go in and charge, and they applied that to what they did with Doom 3, making it this amazing 3D visually. So for me, yeah, I'm gonna give this one here a 4.
All right. What say you?
And that's all I have to say about that.
Me
Yep.
on Doom.
Yep.
I'm gonna give it a 2.
Okay. Mike Huz.
Why?
Yep.
It's just it didn't feel like a Doom game to me. Like it seemed like they were trying to go back to like its roots, and they kind of flopped on the roots, and it just seemed like a really pointless, like it's like one of those indie shooters that you find, arena shooters that you find on Steam for like, you know, $10, but they wanted $60 for it because it was a little pretty. It was a little bit more pretty. I didn't have fun with it. It just it kind of fell short for me. It's
Okay.
like, you know, you go up to a guy, you boot stomp him, you get ammo, you shoot a little bit, you boot stomp a guy, get ammo, and just rinse and repeat. And
Yeah.
like it was just very dull. It just lost its flavor
No,
really quick.
I get it.
Yeah.
All right, Phil, what do you say?
I'm with Tom on this one. It's a 2. There's a meme called "Too Soon." This one's too long.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Yeah, they waited too long to bring out Doom again. You know,
Yeah, true.
and
it
if they wanted
almost
to
felt
do,
something.
what was that, AJ?
It almost went the way of Duke Nukem.
Yeah,
It did go the way of Duke Nukem, dude. It's so bad.
yeah, because you know you kind of want to capitalize when the topic is hot,
Mhm.
and it just took too long. And if they were gonna reboot it, they should have done it right. Like I would have expected way more gore, way more mobs. You know.
Okay.
Tom, what's your nomination, bro? Or Andy, what was your score on Doom?
So I haven't actually played it, but I watched quite a bit of gameplay of it. Markiplier played quite a bit of it, and like I said, I myself didn't play, but it's one of those games where I couldn't quite find a reason to pull the trigger to actually buy it. But it's one of those games where I'm like, if I find a sale, if I find a used copy that's cheap, I'd pick it up. So I would give Doom a 3.5.
Very nice. Okay. How goes those scores, Andy?
I think I missed one. AJ, what was yours? What'd you give it?
I give it a 4.
4? Okay.
Because it's a guy's game. It's a straight guy's game. It's blood, gore, so much fucking metal and everything.
It comes in at the right point. You're just like, yeah.
It's like metal.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, it's just a mindless game where you have 15 minutes to kill. Go ahead and play this, and that's it. You get a full enjoyment.
All right, Tom, what is your nomination?
I think, well, I mean, it's already been brought up. I mean, because I can't think of any other game, and it's just Overwatch for me. Simply because butts, just them booties. Oh my god, the Widowmaker booty and the Tracer booty, and the Symmetra booty. Maze booty's pretty good too. It's just all those butts. Those digital butts were so perfect. Oh my god. That was great. And then I also like Team Fortress, and Team Fortress really needed an update, and Blizzard was like, okay, we can do that, and they just made their own Team Fortress, and they just kind of gave a finger to Steam, because Valve kind of stole Dota, from them, so it's like, all right, we'll steal Team Fortress from you, and it was an asshole move that produced a really cool game where you can be a complete asshole reward for it. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, makes sense. And AJ, what is your nomination?
I was looking at the rules. I don't think this game violates the rules. But it's actually not a console game. It's a handheld game. Fire Emblem Fates.
Okay. Ooh.
I hate you. Get
I've played it.
That's a really good nomination, actually.
Yeah, it came out in February, so it just got to the actual thing this year. I enjoyed it. I've never been a fan of Fire Emblem before, and this got me into the whole series. Actually, Awakening got me into the series, and I love this one because you can play it multiple times. There's different stories. There's different games. You can choose different endings, different characters. The story is so good. This, in my opinion, completes the whole requirements for our Game of the Year.
Yeah, actually, it kind of does when I look back, because that's the first Fire Emblem I've ever played as well, and I got into that one, and the gameplay is phenomenal. The art style is great. The story, it's so good.
So good and funny.
So
and Phil, you can romance people.
What would you rate it?
And you can.
I would rate it a 5.
Nice. Matt?
I think for me, I'd have to actually agree with 5, because it was to me, it was probably the first time ever in my gameplays to have a tactician style game.
Same here.
Engaged that long. So yeah, that's a 5, bro.
Yeah.
Tom?
He's speechless. It's automatic 5 for him.
Did Tom die?
Tom.
He didn't like mine, so he just died.
No, my mic went out. My bad. It's Turtle Beaches, and these things are giving up the ghost. Nice. I was going to say Fire Emblem's a good game. I give it a 4, but that's just because I'm really bad at most tactic games like that. It's kind of tactics-ish. It's like that. So.
Uh-oh. Fire Emblem Fates, you said, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Release date June 25th, 2015.
I thought it came out
for the 3DS.
No shit.
Yeah. Well,
Is that US release or is that Japanese release?
let me see. That is Japan. North America was March 10, 20. Oh, that's Revelation. Birthright Conquest was February 19th, 2016.
Yes, that's what I saw.
Yep.
Okay.
Still counts.
Still got
Okay.
okay, good. Mhm.
Jeff,
Yeah,
what would you give it?
So, I don't play mobile gaming at all.
We're no longer friends.
Mainly because I don't like the 3DS and because of the 3D. So I don't have one. I don't play it.
Get a 2DS then.
Yeah, right. Waste of money there.
It's $100. It's less than $100.
But so yeah, I'm not a mobile gamer. So, but I know the Fire Emblem series. So I'm gonna be nice because I do like the Fire Emblem series. And I'm gonna give it a 3.
All right.
Respectable.
Phil, what do you say?
I'm actually with Jeff on this one. I'm probably gonna give it a little bit higher because I actually do want to play the game. I just recently purchased a 2DS. I'm like Jeff, and I don't really dig the 3D on a handheld.
You're just old. Your eyes can't handle it, dude.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm old. You know, I got 4 eyes. It's just not.
I think me and Phil
Yeah.
might be the oldest ones here. So.
So it's about a 3.5 because I've heard a lot of good things, and it's on my to buy list. The first game I bought for the 3DS was actually Code Princess. So I do love tactic games. It's just Code Princess wears a bikini. So
Yeah, good lord.
Of course.
dude, the art style looks great.
For me, I am going to be a little bit of a harsh critic simply because not only am I not a mobile gamer, but this particular genre that this falls into is not really something that's in my roundhouse. So I am picking the dead center score of 2.5.
Okay.
That's fair.
Basically a neutral score because that's the best that I can think of.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right, let's add this up. 3.
Hey,
Interesting.
math.
I failed it.
So, here are the scores that we have for our games. We have 3. So there are a couple ways that we can do this. So for me, Matt, and Phil, I can either take the highest scored game that we recommended, or of the 9 games that the 3 of us nominated, I can take the 3 highest scoring averages, and those would be the 3 for us. What do you guys want to do? I don't really care.
Go with the ladder that you specified there.
The 3 highest averages?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So the lowest scoring games would be Final Fantasy 15 and Tomb Raider, which averaged actually, no, I lied. Those are the second lowest scoring games
Yeah.
of an average of 2. Street Fighter 5 with the paltry 1.5. After that would be Division, which was 2.67.
Hey guys, I'm gonna go put some pants on. Don't mind me, okay?
Okay, we promise we won't mind you putting on pants.
We didn't need to know that you didn't have pants.
You'll learn with Tom. He doesn't care.
Indeed. And then after Division would be Battlefield, which averaged a 2.92. Horizon 3, which will be one of the 3 games, at 3.16. Titanfall 2, rather, fucking TF2, 3.67, and Overwatch at 3.83.
Oh, very nice.
So we
Very
have
nice.
Overwatch, we have Titanfall 2, and we have Horizon 3 to go along with Doom and Fire Emblem.
Yeah, I'm seeing that the Fire Emblem went pretty high, ranked pretty high.
Oh, that's a good
It
game.
did.
Oh yeah, agreed completely.
All right.
Now the battle really begins, though.
Yes, it does.
Of those 5 games, right?
Mm-hmm.
One of them has to win.
That is correct.
And we've talked a lot about Forza, and we've talked a lot about Titanfall, and we all know what we feel about that. We breezed through Doom and Fire Emblem.
Fire Emblem.
And I'm pretty sure we all have some opinions about Overwatch. Of those 5, all right, looking at the 5 or basically the 3 categories: story, immersion, and replay value. We got to get really critical with these 5 now.
Well, you have so you have story, fun factor, graphics, artistry, or immersion, and then replayability / multiplayer. So those are the 4 genres. So out of those 4 genres, when it comes to Overwatch, how do you feel, Jeffrey? Yes, I picked you first.
Damn you.
Yes.
All right, so it's World of Warcraft style. So it's all that hand painted, beautiful, wonderful architecture, characters, the great art style, great character design. A little brief history about the game, which everybody here probably knows. It was supposed to be an MMO, but got canceled and turned into a pretty much TF2. So gameplay wise, online, it's straight match to match gameplay. It's pretty simple. You can have a good day, good bad day. Good skills win out usually, which comes with just playing more and more. So that's good replayability on that one. Graphics are beautiful. Great story they've added in afterwards. So with each of the little comic books that they're coming out with about the characters, all the new characters that they're adding, they're doing a great job with that. Overall, I'm going to give this, it's, what am I going to give it? Did we rank that already, or what did I give it? 4.5?
We covered that, but we can do it again. That's fine. I mean, because we're basically down to the 5 games. We have Doom, Fire Emblem, Overwatch, Titanfall 2, and Horizon.
Being an artist and knowing how hard hand-painted textures are to do, and the fact that are fantastic. I mean, the game is a great game overall. I get frustrated with it because I'm not good at online multiplayer, so that's my only hang. But I keep going back, so that says something for the game.
Yeah.
Well, let's do it this way. Since we all know the scores for all the games already, and we know the last 5. Of those 5, which one would you pick as the game?
Yeah, pretty much. We're now voting on the 5.
Overwatch.
You put Overwatch as your one?
Yep.
All right.
AJ?
For me, that I'm looking at the requirements and what to begin the year, I'm still saying Fire Emblem. It hits every single one of those things, even immersion, graphic story, multiplayer, even multiplayer. There's in that game.
I have to agree with AJ on that one. Fire Emblem would be my choice.
Tom?
Super Mario Maker. No, I'll just go ahead and say Overwatch simply because I played that far more than anything else this year.
Of those 5, this is really going to make this race tight. It's gonna all hang on Andy. But of those 5, I would choose Overwatch. Because Fire Emblem, it was tough. It was tough. It was Fire Emblem or Overwatch, and I had to go with Overwatch because of that ass.
No, my God.
And you're officially
play Fire Emblem. I will buy you Fire Emblem, and you will see that too. Okay.
Okay, so since we kind of glossed over Overwatch, I actually want to give my review of this game. One of the things that is fantastic about this game is that not only is it being replayed at retarded levels, the number of people that are playing this in such a short amount of time is just insane. Not only that, but this is one of the few games that I've seen where it has such a massive following, and the developers are not only continually updating the game with new content, but they're listening to feedback from fans and they're incorporating that into the changes that they're making. And that is not something that a lot of studios do, let alone a studio for a game that is associated with Activision, as well as the fact that it's the highest played game currently out there. The backstory that they're adding into the different characters is fantastic. So it doesn't have a story mode within the game, but it does have a backstory for the individual characters to be able to build out and help fill in the blank that you otherwise would have gotten filled in from the story. The multiplayer, you can be a first-person shooter and you can absolutely love this game, or you can be like Matt and like Jeff, where there may not necessarily be as focused on first-person shooters, but they can still jump into it and not just enjoy it, but they can thrive in it. You have players like Junkrat who use grenades. You don't have to necessarily be that accurate with a grenade because it's an area of effect. You have your healers. You have Reinhardt, the tank, who has a shield and a hammer. It's kind of hard to fuck up a shield and a hammer. It's really not that tough. This game is well suited for really any type of gamer. It doesn't matter whether you are looking for strategy, whether you're looking for skill, first-person shooter, whatever it is that you're looking for, this game fits that role, which is why this will be our game of the year. My vote is for Overwatch.
Yeah, and by the looks of things here, Overwatch wins by unanimous.
4 votes
by
to
an
2.
overwhelming 4-2.
Well, look at it this way. Outside of Overwatch, your recommendation had more votes than any other.
Yeah, true.
And Fire Emblem was the only other game aside from Overwatch to go over 3.75 in score.
It was a tough call. I mean, Fire Emblem is a really, really good game. Has a lot of history. It was tough. It came down to that ass.
Phil, I'm telling you, Phil, it's just play the game. God, play Fire Emblem. You will know.
Okay.
Does it have booty?
Can we have? They need to have that. I will gladly do a redraw on this, a revote.
Revote. He's saying that the election was rigged.
How about this? I'll do a brutally honest game review if I can somehow capture gameplay on my fucking 2DS.
Totally
Good
can.
luck.
There's
That's
ways to do
difficult.
Yeah, there's ways to do it.
Well, I'll find out.
So it looks like Overwatch is the game of the year. No surprise there because it also won game of the year in the actual
Game of the Year award. Yep.
You got game of the year. So no shocker there.
Nope.
We do appreciate all the other nominees that came through with it.
Yep.
And we do appreciate everyone's input on here. All of our guests, we appreciate you guys stopping in and giving us your opinions, your nominations. It's been a real joy having everybody here.
Thank you for having me.
Massive.
Damn right, delightful.
it. Thank you for having me.
Tom and AJ, I'd love to have you guys back on the show. You guys are fucking fantastic.
Yeah,
Yep, agreed. And Jeff as well.
So with that, you guys, we're going to go ahead and wrap up this podcast by also...
Yeah, I'm getting hungry.
this is probably the longest.
Yeah,
It's the longest we've ever actually had a podcast.
You
Most of our
guys
podcasts are about
2
an hour
hours.
at best. So this is
Well,
our
hey,
longest and our last of the year. So
Just
hot damn.
think that because a lot of people don't know this, we actually were going to bring back one of the hosts from the old show, Clara. We were going to bring her back, but unfortunately, timing and being a little under the weather made it so that could not happen. So we hope to have her back as a guest host, hopefully sometime next year. But just be glad we didn't have a seventh host because that would have added another half hour at least to this whole conversation.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. So appreciate it again. Appreciate everybody watching.
Yep.
Check out the other podcast here. If you guys want to go ahead and put your plugs out there for the podcast you guys are part of as well, because you're not just guests on ours, but
Yeah, guys, if you want to plug your podcast, feel free. AJ, if you want to go first.
Yeah, I'm actually on Twitter at Gaming After Hour. That's where I usually talk all shit about games and stuff like that. The podcast I do is a monthly one. It's called the NBC Video Game Book Club. Every month we go on a game, we all play it, and we all have a little discussion at the end. and see what our thoughts was and how we rank it at the very end of the year. We'll see which one's the best one. It's a very fun, very active community. It's on Facebook.
Awesome. Tom?
Yeah, so I'm part of the Average Nerds podcast. You can find us on YouTube at YouTube /Average Nerds. You can also find us on Twitter, Twitter at Average Nerds, whatever. Yeah, we do our podcast every Sunday starting January. So yep.
It's good you guys are going to come back to it now.
Awesome.
Also find us on Twitch, on Average Nerds.
Awesome.
Very nice.
Very nice.
Awesome. All right.
Well, appreciate you guys again.
Yeah.
And like I said, everything that they discussed here will also be in the description. I'll put the descriptions below after we're done with everything here, so you can click the links there to follow them. So again, thank you guys for joining us on the show, and we're gonna go ahead and call this it.
No, we're gonna call it a year.
Yeah. Happy New Year, everybody.
Yep.
So,
Yep. See you next year.
Happy New
see
Year.
you guys. Bye.
Bye.